We've been gearing up for Aligned 17, which is a virtual conference dedicated to sales and marketing alignment. It's happening May 22nd through the 26th, and we wanted to do something special for B2B Growth listeners. Leading up to the event, we'll be giving you early access to some of the Aligned 17 sessions. Today's episode is exactly that. So if you like today's interview, head over to aligned17.com and sign up to access every session of the event. We've got an incredible lineup of speakers, including Gary Vaynerchuk, Jill Conrath, Tony Hughes, Tucker Max, and Trish Bertuzzi, along with dozens of other B2B sales and marketing experts. So go to aligned17.com and sign up today. You're listening to the B2B Growth Show, a podcast dedicated to helping B2B executives achieve explosive growth. Whether you're looking for techniques and strategies or tools and resources, you've come to the right place. I'm James Carberry.
And I'm Jonathan Green.
Let's get into the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this session at Aligned 17 called How to Wow, using personal video to get the attention you deserve. My name is Tyler Lessard. I'm the VP Marketing here at Vidyard, and throughout this session, I'm going to give you some inspiration, some ideas, and some practical takeaways for how you can use video across your marketing and sales team to create a more aligned approach to how you engage your customers and ultimately boost conversion rates, response rates, and ultimately close rates as you move into this next year. So knowing that the topic of this event is around sales and marketing alignment, I want to make it clear that when I talk about video here in this session, it's not just about as a top-of-funnel marketing instance. We're finding that video is helping people crush it throughout the entire marketing and sales funnel, which we'll talk about a little bit in this session, and give you, again, some specific examples of how not only marketing teams but sales teams are using video and personal video in an aligned, orchestrated way to generate better results. Okay, so without further ado, let's hop right into it. And I'm going to kick this off by setting the stage with something that I'm sure will resonate with many of you, and that it's in today's day and age as marketing and sales teams, our greatest challenge that I feel is getting and holding the attention of our target audiences, right? We've moved from this information age where it was a content economy over the last few years, and frankly, I think we're victims of our own success. There's so much content out there. There's so much noise. It's so easy for sales reps to be reaching out to people and getting in their inboxes that it's harder than ever to stand down and get people to care. And so we're moving into this age where we have to think more than just about the content and about the medium that we're using to reach people. We need to think about creating experiences. We need to think about how we stand out and make people genuinely want to react and come and do business with us. And in this new world, it's less about the actual content itself, and it's more about attention, right? What are you doing to get people's attention, to stand out, and to ultimately get into a conversation that you need to be getting into? And this is the role of both marketing and sales in the new world, right? It's no longer about marketing piquing their interest, handing them over to sales, them trying to work the account. It's about an orchestrated approach between marketing and sales to get people's attention, to get them excited, to get them interested, and to convert them. And there are lots of different ways you need to think about this today. But the challenge in this old world of this attention world where everybody is so bombarded is that as marketers, we're excited with a 1% response rate to email campaigns. And as sales teams, our outbound reps are excited if they get a couple of people to respond to their cold prospecting emails on a daily basis, right? This is insanity. Think about how much work is going into these campaigns and these programs and these outreach, and we're happy with a 1% conversion rate or a couple of people a day responding. We need new tactics. We need new ideas to help us cut through the noise and to get better at what we do. So my challenge to all of you listening to this is to think about how you can create an aligned marketing and sales strategy within your organization that's not just about the tactics and programs and workflows and processes, but is about establishing and creating and delivering truly exceptional content experiences that make people want to jump up and do business with you. Right, look at that guy on the right-hand side of the screen. He wants to do business with somebody. He's excited because he saw something. And that's what you need to start thinking about in this new age. Marketing and sales alignment isn't just about process. It's about how you get on the same page with exciting, interesting, remarkable ideas to get people to pay attention and to get them into your sales programs. So that's my challenge for all of you here today. And I'm going to give you some insights into how you can use personal video throughout the entire buyer's journey to create these kinds of experiences. businesses. Now, why video? What's working with video? So I'm sure most of you on the line won't argue that video is effective and that it's important. But the reason that video works is because it is a very personal medium, right? Whether or not you see somebody like on the screen here, waving at you with your name written on a board, or whether it's simply, an animated explainer video. Because video is visual, it's audible, it can stimulate emotions. It can touch us personally in different ways than just reading text-based or image-based content can. So that is the main thing you need to think about and why video can be so effective at every stage of the buying journey. It's engaging, it's informative, it can be emotional and memorable, but most of all, it is a personal medium that people have a more human and emotional reaction to. And for those of you on the sales side of the house, you know this already, right? You know that tapping into somebody's emotion, right, connecting with them on a more human level is key to sales. Marketers have learned this as well, and now it's time to bring it all together and do amazing things. So when it comes to using video, what we're finding is it works throughout lots of different ways. So not only, of course, across your website and your social media programs, but using video in your outbound email marketing can 2 to 3x the click-through rates on those campaigns. Using personalized video, so at the top of the screen there, you see a shot of a video with somebody's name right inside the little gingerbread house name box there. That's an example of an automated personalized video where the content actually gets personalized in real time for each individual viewer. Their name is brought into the story, and that can also increase click-through rates and ways to get people to get pulled into your content. And then finally, the other thing that we're seeing is the use of personal sales videos. So these are the actual one-to-one, turning on your camera, recording a quick personal message and sending it to somebody instead of a long, drawn-out text-based email. These kinds of personal videos can increase your click-through rates and your response rates when you're doing outbound sales prospecting by more than 4 to 5x. And we're seeing this proven over and over again with companies trying this and doing this. And the reason it works, quite frankly, 2 things. One is it's more human and personal, right? So there's empathy involved. Somebody sees your face. They know that you're a human. They're more inclined to respond. Secondly, is that they know it was done just for them, right? They know it's not some templated spam email that everybody else is sending them and that they've grown to start to ignore. They know that you recorded this just for them and you actually took the time to learn about them, so there's more likely there's going to be value in it for them. So lots of different ways we're seeing video boost response rates, engagement rates all throughout the funnel, and it works the best when marketing and sales are on the same page in an orchestrated way to how this content is delivered. So, are you with me? Hopefully you're bought in that video is a great way to touch both the hearts and the minds of your audiences and to cut through the noise. So how you want to think about using video to create a more compelling marketing and sales experience is not only the things that we're traditionally taught of creating content that's relevant and that's useful and timely and helps to explain gain and value and using things like video at top of the funnel, but to really wow people, you want to go beyond those basics. And with video, you have an opportunity to be interesting, right? To be emotional, to be funny, to be inspiring, right? To, again, invoke those kinds of emotion that make people want to do business with you. Not only can you be timely and give somebody the right information at the right time, but you can be very personal. The example I gave of a one-to-one personal sales video is a great example of how people want to respond to things from humans rather than from machines. The next one, which I think is really important with video, is it gives you a really great opportunity to talk about the pain rather than the gain. And people respond more to pain than gain. And what's interesting with video, and particularly using things like humor or whatnot, you can really peel that back and you can show people in scenarios where, they have a challenge in front of them, and of course you can help solve it. But people are more likely to align and to resonate with a pain point they're feeling rather than a gain they could be realizing. And then finally, which is using video all throughout the buyer's journey. And not enough businesses are doing this today. And I'm not just talking about, to educate and build awareness and interest, but right through into that sales cycle of using personal video as an outreach tool by sharing custom screen recordings, custom demos, and making them available to that business online. These are ways you can really wow people today and make them want to do business with you. This here is a shot of a video funnel, if you will. And so it shows you a lot of the various different types of video that we're seeing people use right from marketing through to sales at each stage of the buying journey. So as you and take a screenshot of this, quickly grab it. I think it's a great reference for you to use when you're thinking about how video plays a role throughout your marketing and sales life cycle. At the top of the funnel, we see people using, of course, promotional videos, video on social, video blogs, video explainers. And what's really important here, back to the topic of being more personal, is using these videos to appeal to the human emotion. Right, so this is where you're starting to get engaged with somebody, and whether these are videos that are being used across your website or whether they're things your sales team are sending out as part of their engagement with customers, the opportunity here is to strike an emotional chord with somebody, right? So again, using things like humor or inspiration in your promotional awareness videos, your social videos, those work really, really well in today's day and age, and it's the kind of content people actually like to engage with and share. On your blog or in your explainers, be very knowledgeable and, again, appeal to people's desire to improve and to capture knowledge. So video can be a great way there to, again, appeal to somebody's human nature and pull them into your story. As you move into the middle of the funnel, you've got things like webinars, you've got chalk talks or whiteboard videos where you dive deeper into specific topics to educate people and to show that you are a trusted advisor in your market. You've got specific product demos that you want to use, customer stories and visual customer stories. And these are the kinds of things where not only can you inform and educate, but again, you can build a more emotional connection by using real people in these types of videos. So chalk talks, webinars, product demos, again, don't hide behind the screen. Get your employees out in front and showcasing their passion for what you do, their knowledge for what you do. And again, strike a one-to-one chord with people. Customer stories, we'll talk about this a bit later, but complement your written customer stories with visual, video-based customer stories. These work so much better to get people to pay attention and are really great tools to give to your sales team to make them more effective in their outreach. And then the last one, as you move down into the bottom of the funnel, but frankly, this can be used all throughout the funnel, is the one-to-one personal video messaging. And this is where you're empowering your sales team to record and share custom video messages that can get people's attention and to pull them into your story. So this is about a webcam video, a screen recording, a quick voiced-over presentation. Empowering your teams to be video creators and to share those as ways to get better results is super, super important in today's aligned marketing and sales world. So these are the kinds of ways that we're seeing top businesses use video throughout the marketing and sales cycle. And I will again repeat that this is not just about a marketing-led initiative. This is about marketing and sales working together to talk about what is the content that we need at each of these stages. How can we create it in a way that's going to be compelling and that can not only be used by marketing to generate inbound leads, but by sales to nurture those prospects, to educate them, and to move them through the journey as you're engaging as a sales team. So I'm going to flip it into talking about a few specific examples to inspire you and give you ideas for how you can use some of these different videos throughout the buyer's journey and how you can personalize the content to not only get a bigger response rate, but to very genuinely increase your response rates by 3, 5, maybe even 10x. So the first example I want to talk about is that promotional video at the top of the funnel. And I'm sure many of you are doing this today as marketing organizations, creating, interesting content to support some content campaigns, some marketing campaigns. And one of the things I really want to, emphasize is that video should always be an active consideration when you're creating these top of funnel programs, because they'll not only, as a marketing team, generate likely more interest and inbound activity, but they're going to do a better job of building a personal connection that your sales team can then play off of, right? When somebody watches a video of somebody on screen and then your sales reps follow up, again, there's a much higher likelihood that they'll be able to establish a personal connection. So one example here of one we did really, really well recently, and this is from our own example, but I wanted to share with you because it was, one that was hugely successful for our team, and I think there's some good lessons learned. We were recently launching a product called Vidyard, which is the ability for, a sales rep to be able to do what I'm talking about, recording a personal video message and share it. And we started off with your typical campaign landing page. The tagline was stop typing, start connecting. And we had a few offers for people. So it was, come get this great screen recording and a webcam tool, download the guide to learn how to use it to be more effective, and get a cheat sheet that you can use to help you be, good on camera as a sales rep. And we went out and promoted this campaign, drove people to the landing page, and, we saw some decent activity in terms of people downloading the assets and doing these things. But, it was not stellar results, but it was a good start to the program. So then what we did was we focused on some fun pain points and a really fun video series to get people more emotionally charged with this campaign. So what we did was we updated this campaign to, instead of focusing on the gain of connecting with people, we flipped it around and focused on the pain, which was the pain of not connecting with people. And so we called this campaign Sales Fails. And we recorded these really fun videos. They were kind of parodies of Jimmy Kimmel's Mean Tweets videos, where he has celebrities read mean tweets about themselves. And in these videos, we had our own employees, and then we had industry celebrities read on camera really bad sales prospecting emails they had received. So on the left-hand side, you see the one and only Craig Rosenberg at Topo, where he peels back some legitimate, real sales prospecting emails he's gotten that totally turned him off. And so you can think the things like, oh, are you stuck under a rock or been eaten by an alligator? Or on the right-hand side, you see Amr from our team who received an email that said, hello, Cindy. Right? Real sales fails that, not only don't get people to connect with you, but can actually hurt your brand when people are seeing that kind of content. And what we found, these videos they were very funny. They were meant to be human and interesting. And the response to this was overwhelming. We saw thousands and thousands of views and shares of this content, but then people were coming in, much more actively to download the tool and to see, not only how they could do video messaging, but how it played a role in helping them solve these challenges they have, which is, of course, getting in people's inbox and getting them to actually respond. I won't show you the actual videos here, but I do have the link in the bottom right corner, vidyard.com/salesfails, if you want to dive over to that page and watch those videos as some inspiration for the kind of content you can create. Now, again, this was a great marketing campaign, but in the spirit of sales and marketing alignment, what happens here is as those individuals come in and download the assets and become, known leads, the sales team, instead of following up and saying, oh, I see you downloaded that ebook. Did you read it and what did you think, right? They now are following up and saying, hey, did you get a chance to watch that Sales Fails video? What did you think? Right? And the response 9 times out of 10 is, oh, yes, that was great, loved it, super funny. And then they start an actual human conversation, right? It starts there, and our sales team can then send them a personal video and as a response, and it just is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It works super, super well, and you're moving away from the features and functions discussion up front to a more connected human conversation. Okay, now let me move on to the next example. And this is another one where this campaign was one that was incredibly successful for a company that I work a lot with, Lenovo, and their B2B business. Now, what Lenovo did, and again, this was a program that was really aligned between their marketing and their sales team, and it was meant to be a top-of-funnel campaign, but orchestrated in a way that would give an opportunity for their sales team to get engaged on, again, a more personal conversation with their prospects. So what Lenovo did last year was around the holiday season, they created a personalized video to wish a chunk of their audience a happy holidays. And so the way personalized video in this sense works is you produce the video and you leave spots in the video where you may want somebody's name or company name to show up. And then when you actually, send out the campaign, in this case they sent it out to about 6,000 recipients, what happens is each recipient's name automatically gets pulled into the video. And the thumbnail image they see in their inbox is something like that. So that's the one Nicoletta would see. The one I saw in my inbox had Tyler written on the little sign there. And if your name was Karen, of course, you'd see Karen on the sign. Now, people are a lot more likely to click through and watch that because it's personalized for them, and there's a level of novelty, but also a degree of relevance. So in this campaign, they sent down to about 6,000 inactive leads. These are people who had not responded to any marketing touches for more than 6 months. And they saw over a 4% click-through rate compared to their usual average for their broad audience of 1%. So not only did they almost 5x their average response rate, but this was inactive leads who hadn't responded to anything in more than 6 months. 78% of those people who clicked through watched the video all the way to the end. And then those individuals, of course, because Lenovo was savvy and they were tracking the analytics on who was watching, how long they were engaging within their Eloqua system, Those then triggered leads to the sales team that they could follow up with. And on the page where somebody watched that video, even though it was very top of funnel, had additional calls to action to go and download other assets or to engage in some related customer stories from the past year of people having success with Lenovo. So again, a great example of how a wonderful marketing campaign resulted with video in a huge response rate, but it gave their sales team a different angle to go and talk to those folks about. Again, it was less of a, hey, did you download that white paper? And it was more of a, hey, hope you enjoyed your video. And is there anything we can do to help you as we move into next year to be more successful in your business? A great example of a killer campaign using video and using personalized video to really move the needle. Now, they followed this up earlier this year with, I'd say, just a slightly lower in the funnel campaign because it does start to be product-oriented, which was a personalized video around a campaign they're running called Users Happen. And again, this was a great example of a creative video. This was actually a rap video targeting IT people. Yes, you heard that correctly. It was a parody rap video targeting IT people. And this was a hugely successful campaign for them. Again, because it broke away from the traditional noise of features and functions with IT folks, and it brought some fun and interest and the human element into the story. The rap video was actually about the IT folks who are the heroes in your company. Somebody comes to them with a problem, and they break out into this rap about solving problems for people. And it was really well done. I won't spoil it. I'll give you the link so you can go and watch it. But the fact of the matter is they, again, sent this video out to 600,000 recipients, so, much broader than the previous personalized video campaign. And you can see, again, the person's name showing up in the thumbnail image when they blasted this out. What was really exciting here, even at that volume of 600,000 people, so a very diverse audience, they saw, again, over a 3 times increase over their average click-through rate. So this was, again, nearly 4% click-through rate on this campaign compared to their average of about 1%. The majority of people, again, watched all the way to the end. It was an over 2-minute video. And those who watched, again, went into a custom nurture and into a sales cadence. Super interesting. If you want to watch that video and look into that campaign, because I think they did extremely well and a great example of having fun in B2B, just check out Google Lenovo Users Happen. You can see the full link there if you want to take a screenshot, but just Google Lenovo Users Happen and you'll see the landing page with that rap video and some other great content that they've created to immerse their audience in really compelling experience. 2 more types of videos I want to talk about before we wrap up here. The next one are customer stories. So customer stories, I think, are like the epicenter of marketing and sales alignment. So customer stories, to me, are the best thing that marketers can do to help salespeople have more effective conversations. Now, I'm sure many of you are doing customer success stories today, and most are probably like the one you see on the screen, like we do, which are written customer stories. And you may promote them. Your sales team may send the links to people to help them get some peer validation for what people are really doing. But nothing says success and drives interest and excitement than seeing the customers actually in person, passionately talking about what you do. So if you're not yet creating video-based customer stories as a marketing team to help your sales team better engage your clients, I really suggest you start thinking about this now, right? Take some of your existing customer stories and see if you can go out, get them on camera, and film a great little visual story about them. Or maybe your next 1 or 2 stories you want to do, go on site with the customer, meet up with them at an event, get them on camera, and get them sharing firsthand their own experience with your brand and with your products. It is so much more effective for a sales team to send out a customer video than it is a link to a big drawn-on text-based customer story. One of the other things we did with one of ours, which was, again, our most successful customer story program, was we not only did a great video of the customer, in this case it was Talia, but we did a little animated storybook video that actually took the character of our customer and put them into a little storybook. And what was fun here was this little story was an animated video that talks about, it was A Tale of Two Marketers is what it was called, and it was Strategic Sue was the one being successful, of course, and Post and Pray Pete was the one not being successful. And it told this fun little story of these 2 characters, and at the end it said, and the kicker is that Strategic Sue is a real person. Come and hear her story. Now her name was Baji. She worked at Talia, and that was, again, a great way to pull people in and get them them to engage in that customer story. And our own sales team found so much success in both of these. So sometimes they'll send out the video with the person. Sometimes they'll send the storybook version, and the response from people is really overwhelming, and they just love that kind of content experience, and it makes them genuinely want to have a conversation with us. Okay, the last one, which is probably the one I'm most excited about because of the results companies are now seeing, is one-to-one personal video messaging. And the idea here is, let's say you're a sales rep who's going to do outbound prospecting, or you're following up on an inbound lead from marketing. What better way, rather than sending an email with a bunch of text and leaving a bunch of voicemails that they probably never listened to, than sending a personal video, just like the one you see on the screen here, into their inbox. So on the top, you see the idea of recording a quick webcam video with a whiteboard with the person's name on it. It takes literally 60 seconds to record a quick video, say, "Hi, Dallin, my name's Stephanie, and I noticed based on A, B, and C, I think we could really help. Would love to chat about it." And, you'd go on with your conversation. The same types of things you would have written in the email, but saying it on screen as a real person, showing that you're human and really proving that you took time to learn about them and that you want to have a genuine one-to-one conversation rather than you took the time to copy over a template and click send. It works so well. And what we're seeing, I mentioned earlier, is that outbound prospecting emails with these kinds of videos are increasing response rates by more than 5x on average from what we're seeing with companies now doing this. The one on the bottom, so the one on the top is the idea of doing a webcam video. The one on the bottom is doing a screen capture with your face down in the corner, but capturing something online in your browser that's relevant to that individual. So what you actually see there is this is one of our sales development leads, Terrence, who is prospecting somebody, and he's actually recording a video of him on their LinkedIn profile, right? Is it a little bit creepy? I don't think so. This is public content. You go out there, and let's say you were that person, and you saw this video show up in your inbox, and it was your own LinkedIn profile. Would you click it? Yeah, well, again, the data says yes. More often than not, people are clicking on this because they want to see, hey, what's this about? That's my LinkedIn profile. And what Terrence does here is he says, hey, let's say it's Ellen. So, hey, Ellen, I noticed based on your LinkedIn profile that your role is this and you're at this kind of company. Based on that, you probably have these kinds of challenges. And, we've got a really great solution that I think could help. I'd love just, 5 minutes of your time to talk a bit more about it and help you understand how you can do A, B, and C. So using their LinkedIn profile to create relevance can be super, super effective. So this is something as you can hear, I'm really passionate about, and I think businesses need to start thinking in this way as a way to cut through the noise, to get people's attention. And doing stuff like this, I think part of the reason we haven't done it is this isn't really marketing's job to give sales a tool like this and teach them how to use it. But on the sales side, you're not always thinking about these kinds of creative new ways to create outreach. But if your marketing and sales team got together and said, what do you think about a program like this? And how can we do this in an orchestrated way? Right? Marketing can help make sure the team understands best practices for creating video content. They can make sure it's really easy for the sales team by offering a tool that makes it integrated into their email workflows and making sure that if people watch these videos, it's tracked back in both their marketing and CRM tools. And the sales team can, of course, take lead on adopting the tools, testing different things, creating their own internal best practices, and standardizing on the types of videos that are working. That's the stuff that gets me excited. And these kinds of tools can be, again, not only great for outbound sales prospecting, but for targeted ABM programs, and again, for following up on inbound leads as a way to get people to actually respond and move through the funnel with you. If you want to try this out today, I mentioned earlier we have a tool called Viewed It. Just check out vidyard.com/viewed it. You can install it for free and use it for free as a great way to record and share personal videos from right inside your inbox and get notifications back if somebody watched it. Now, the last piece before I leave is as you're using personal video throughout the marketing and sales funnel in an orchestrated way to get more people to respond, there are opportunities to not only use video effectively, but to use the latest tools to help make sure you're converting these people faster than ever. So the first is you can use embedded calls to action in your videos. On the left, you see an example at the end of that customer story. It turns into a form, which then encourages somebody to take an action. What we've also seen with the one-to-one personal video messages is you could have that little webcam video actually end in a Calendly invite, so somebody could immediately request a calendar meeting with you. Simple things like that can help to drive a quick conversion right right from the video. The second super important thing is tracking who's actually watching which of this video content. So imagine if you were a sales rep and you sent down a customer video, a personal webcam video that you recorded for them, and then one of your latest product explainers. Imagine if you then got notifications to know that that individual watched the explainer video all the way to the end. They watched the customer story twice. And then they watched your personal webcam video, all the way through. Of course, you would know that now is the time to follow up, and you know exactly what to follow up with. So by getting those insights on who's watching what, feeding those into your marketing and sales tools, you can be a more informed sales team, and you can use that information to prioritize your highest quality prospects. This stuff isn't possible unless your marketing and sales teams are working together on strategies like this that can orchestrate not only the creative content you're pushing out there, but how people are sending it, how they're tracking it, and what you're doing with those insights. So with that, I'm going to leave you on a final note. If you're interested in learning more about how to wow people with personal video, beyond just creating great video content and using it throughout your funnel, you can learn more about things like automated personalized video, which I talked about, of weaving somebody's name automatically into a marketing video at vidyard.com/personalized. That's one solution that we offer to our clients. The second is Viewed It, vidyard.com/viewed it, and that's the ability to record personal video messages right from your desktop. And then finally, if you want to learn more about how to track who's watching what and get those insights into your marketing and sales tools, check out vidyard.com/tour, and you can learn a lot more about that. So with that, I'm going to wrap and want to say, again, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you learned some ideas, got really inspired by how you can use personal video throughout your marketing and sales programs to drive alignment, but more importantly, drive more closed deals. My name is Tyler Lessard. Connect with me on Twitter, connect with me on LinkedIn, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me at tyler.lessard@vidyard.com. Thanks very much, and all the best in your marketing and sales programs.
To ensure that you never miss an episode of the B2B Growth Show, subscribe to the show in iTunes or your favorite podcast player. This guarantees that every episode will get delivered directly to your device.
If you'd like to connect with B2B executives from all over the world, make sure to join our private Facebook community. There are some incredible conversations happening inside this group. To join, visit b2bgrowthshow.com/FB.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.